Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Raw Inspired Living. If this is your first time, welcome. We're so glad you could join us. And if you're coming back, welcome also. My name is Kelly. You can have a look at the welcome video as to why I set up this channel. But I just wanted to jump on this morning and tell you a little bit about myself and my journey to date, because I think it's important that you know a little bit more about me and you understand where I'm coming from in what I'm presenting on this channel. So I've always had a passion for health, always. If you ask any of my friends, I have always been talking about health. I've always been looking for the next level thing about health. And that has never changed, So I'm in my 50s now, and honestly, that's been the way of my life all the way through. So I am super passionate about food because I've really always had this intuitive feeling that food is super important to our health and our vitality and our energy. And I've always been really focused on non-toxic things. So really from my mid-20s, I've been living a fairly non-toxic life. So, no toxic beauty products. I stopped wearing all the perfumes that I loved, That's probably a little bit later, maybe in my 30s. But once I started to understand what toxins do to the body and how harmful they are for that human health, I really was quite focused on only using things that were very low tox, if not no tox. And in terms of food, I only ever really ate organic food, from when I was, cooking for myself, and I understood the differences between organic food and what pesticides did. I really have focused on organic food. I only ate grass-fed organic meat when I ate meat. I don't eat meat anymore. I am vegan and high raw vegan, I guess you'd say. So I did everything right. I really did. Like all through my sort of 30s and 40s, I did everything right. I exercised. I was an aerobics instructor. I ran, I jogged. I loved jogging. I lived near the beach and I used to go every morning. So I really did all the things that you would consider to be healthy practices. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. It was just I was pretty healthy, right? In terms of how healthy is defined. And the interesting thing about that is when I was healthy because I had my daughter at 46 and I conceived her naturally and I had a great pregnancy. But what happened was when I got towards 49, everything just started to be weird and my body just wasn't really working the way I felt that it would be working for that age. It's not old at all. And I used to wake up and get really, during the night, I'd get really weird aches and pains, like my elbows would be sore, my feet would be sore, and I started to gain weight in areas that I'd really never had weight on, around my belly, around my midriff, everything just started to puff up and just not work as effectively as it did before. And honestly, I was so frustrated by that because I thought, honestly, I have done pretty much everything I could to keep myself healthy. And yet here I was at an age of not very old, at 49, having to deal with some of these issues that I honestly didn't think I'd ever have to deal with, let alone, when I was not even 50. So that's really what started this journey that I've been on and that I'm still on now. And through that journey, so I have been through every iteration of everything. I have done the whole big gym thing, eating only protein. I have done, high carb, low fat. I've done, honestly, I have done it all. I have done every single eating program. I've done the blood group diet. If you name it, I have probably done it. I can promise you, right? And what I was looking for now in this, area of my life and this phase of my life, I guess, was really next level health. I'm not interested in, having mediocre health. I have an 11-year-old daughter and I'm 57 now as the recording of this video. And I really want to be healthy into my, as I age. I want to age with vitality. I want to have longevity on this planet, but not while I'm sitting in a nursing home. I want to still be able to travel. I want to be able to do all those things. I want to be able to move my body. So I really had to wake up to the reality of that. It was not going to happen if I did not change some of the things that I did. So I spent the first few years after 49 just asking everybody for answers. I go to the naturopath, I went to the homeopath, I did everything right. And it all helped to some degree. But there was a point around 53 where I really realized that, you know what, if I am going to have that next level health that I'm after, I have to take responsibility for it and I have to take control of it. And I have to do my own research and I have to use my body as an experiment and I have to work out what's going on. So from that point on, I really did that. I have, read so many books and so many health books and so many textbooks. And it was a transition for me, right? I worked through, going vegan, and then I was, high carb with vegan, and, then I added more salads. And then, I worked out that maybe there was a better way to do this, because I've always intuitively known that raw food is better for our health. I just know that. It's just something that I've always known, and I've always tried to focus on eating, salads or, smoothies. I've always been a smoothie lover, green smoothie lover. Somewhere inside, I just knew that raw food was part of the answer. And so I followed that intuition, and I found people that could help me with eating more raw food. Then I did a long juice fast, a long 40-day juice fast to clean my gut out and reset my microbiome, because I now understand that the microbiome that we have is made up of the majority of foods that we eat. So in order for you to change that and be able to digest raw foods, you really have to change that microbiome, and that changes over time. So I guess that's what I've done. I have literally used myself as an experiment. I have researched everything. I've read so many books I couldn't even tell you on, food, on nutrition, on health. I'm currently studying, a nutrition coach certification. It's very difficult, I have to be honest, to find certifications that have the knowledge that I have gained from all of the books that I've read. I feel like the traditional places that you can study nutrition and things like that are really far behind what actually is good for human health. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky, but I'm doing it, and I'm finding the places that I need, which is super exciting. So that's really why I'm here. I'm here to share with you the things that I have found that have truly worked for me in my body post-menopause, after 50, so that you can try and get back some of your vitality, because I was honestly shocked at how much that age bracket impacted my health when I had been doing all of the right things. So I found that raw food actually was the answer for me. The more raw food I eat, the better I feel. I don't have to worry about weight. I just don't have to worry about any of it, really. I have more energy than I've ever had. And I guess I just would like to help people try it, use it as an experiment, do it as an experiment, but that transition, it can take time. As I say, I transitioned probably, over the last 5 years, I've been transitioning to where I am now, and I still haven't finished. So, I welcome you to join me on this journey and walk through it with me. But my health today is in a very different position than it was 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. And that is really been through all of the information that I have gathered, from my reading, from my research, from my study. So yeah, I'm here really to share that journey with you, to share some of the tips and tricks that made it easier for me to get to this point. And it's not just a physical journey. It's not just about the food. The food makes a huge difference. I have to be honest. The food makes a huge difference to your willingness to change, your thought processes, the vitality that you have in your body. Because honestly, when we don't have a lot of vitality, we can't really be bothered doing anything. And I totally get that, because I've been there. I've walked that path. So it's not just about that. It is about, understanding how we feel about ourselves, how we talk to ourselves, how we talk to our body, how we understand our body, how we understand how our body works. It's really, what's happening in our energetic fields as well. That's so important, because, the frequency that you hold, and I've said this before, affects everything. It absolutely affects everything in your life and the way you experience your life. So it's all sort of tied in together, and that's why I wanted to set this channel up, because I wanted to talk to you about all of those things, and I want to hopefully give you some inspiration to age differently. You can age differently. I do not buy into any of those paradigms about, we're aging, your body must age. All of that stuff is just not true. It's just an indoctrinated, structure that we've been placed into that we've never really questioned. And I'm here to actually question that and break the status quo of that, because I do not think that that's actually necessary. So if that's your vibe, if that's your gig, join me here at Raw Inspired Living. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos. And I look forward to sharing more about the information that I've gathered. I, would love to hear about some of your experiences and what sorts of things you'd like to see on this channel, what things you'd like to hear about, or you'd like to, understand a little bit more about. So feel free to drop in the comments things that you might want me to cover, but that's just a little bit about my journey and how I got here. So I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you back here soon.